of traveling for the sake of getting awesome video for this channel. And with thinking about that, I figured we could cover a very important topic if you are a car person or not a car person. Going on a road trip is one of the best things you can ever do as a person, as a car enthusiast, or just in general. Sure, you can fly somewhere and you get there and you made it to your destination, but nothing has that sense of being far from home when you cover that distance yourself. However, if you've never been on a road trip, it can be very intimidating. So, on the topic of this matter, here's some tips to help you out on your first road trip. Number 1. Know the distance. Know how far you're gonna be going. Are you going cross country, or are you just doing a nice little 2-hour road trip? It is a huge, huge difference and a totally different ball game if you're doing a shorter or longer distance. And also have a ballpark idea of what the route is. That's usually important. You should probably know where you're going. Number 2, have some kind of navigation system. Nowadays, it's so much easier to get around and travel places you don't know because of things like GPS. Have a Garmin or a TomTom or something along those lines, or even your smartphone. Usually your smartphone with Google Maps or something like that, you can find your way to your destination or find your way back if you have gotten lost. The absolute last thing you want to do is be in a completely new area you've never been before and be completely lost without any help. It is the worst feeling ever. But don't be prideful, ask directions if you absolutely have to. I'm looking at you, every guy watching this. No, honey, I know exactly where I'm going. No, you don't. Number 3, make sure to bring some kind of snack or something to at least kind of munch on as you go along on your road trip. If it's for a long period of time in between meals, then you want at least something to fuel your body. Your body is very much like a car. It needs fuel to keep going. So if you're running out of fuel, you'll start getting headaches, you'll start getting that kind of nauseous feeling some people get, all kinds of things that you're putting yourself at risk for crashing and that sort of thing. The last thing you want to do is fall asleep at the wheel or have an accident because you just didn't eat enough. That's no fun. It's also been proven if you want something to do while you're driving, chew some gum or something like that. It's been proven that it ups your concentration for long periods of time. Number 4, music. If your car has a functioning radio, use it. There are times when driving is nice, when it's nice and quiet and there's nobody talking to you or, blah, blah, blah. But on a really long road trip, nothing kind of beats that sense of open road and your favorite music going along with it. But this is where I say be wary with music, because if you start feeling tired on your road trip, I'm talking about, road trips that are past, 4 hours, be careful with music you really know and love, because if your mind knows that song, it's gonna want to sing along with it, even if you're not physically singing along with it. So that's taking away more energy from you. This is just my personal opinion. I know that once I get tired on a road trip, if I keep playing music that I know by heart, it wears me out even more because I want to keep up with it subconsciously almost. So try playing something, non-lyrical. Usually that helps me at least. Number 5, bring a close friend or family member if you can, and make sure there's somebody you no matter what get along with. Going on a road trip by yourself can be extremely therapeutic. I've done several by myself, and it's a good time to kind of reflect on where you are in your life and, look what you're doing. You're on an adventure by yourself. You don't know what's gonna happen. And it kind of opens the doors to not limit yourself to the people in the car. If you don't know who you're gonna meet, that's always fun. Stranger danger though, be street smart, you know what I mean. But other than that, really long road trips are 10 times easier with somebody to talk to. This is just me, but I know by heart that it's way easier. I've driven to Detroit, Michigan from Richmond, Virginia twice, and the second drive with my friend Brandon was so much easier. It just makes things go faster, rather than you sitting here just... There's a ghost in my seat. Hi, Bob. Imaginary friend Bob. You're on my adventure, right? Number 6, embrace the journey. Don't see it as a chore. If you see it as a chore, you're never want to go on a road trip ever again. It's just not gonna happen. You're like, oh, I have to drive that far? No, be like, sweet, I get to drive that far. Take it as a time of therapy. Take it as a time as an adventure, like I said. So that sense of adventure is there because, for example, the United States is a huge country. You just don't realize how big it is until you drive most of it yourself. There's so much stuff out there to see, and there's so much stuff to just go by that you would have never known otherwise. So embrace the journey. It's like that saying, it's not the destination, it's all about the journey. Number 7, fill up early. In past videos, in my vlogs, I've told stories of where I was extremely stubborn and I've almost ran out of gas. I'm like, I can just push it a little bit farther. Do not be like me. Do not be like me. Don't push the car harder than you need to. Sure, that first half of your gas gauge might be like, oh, I'm doing good, I'm not using that much gas. But that second half, depending on the car, all gas gauges are different. And I know in my car at least, that second gauge seems to go down a little bit faster than that first half. So always fill up a little bit earlier than you would expect. That way you never have to worry about the what if of, what if I get stuck on the side of the road? Of course, every car's gas mileage is different, but a good way to look at it is get your gas the same time as you eat lunch or something like that. That way you knock out 2 birds with 1 stone. Number 8 is have some sort of a budget. Know a ballpark estimate of how much gas it's gonna take to get to your destination. How much are you gonna spend on food? Do you have a hotel bill? Are you staying with somebody for free? It just goes on and on. But having a certain budget limits yourself from overspending. It also kind of gives you a peace of mind too. If you can't go on the road trip because of money, don't risk it. Don't do it. You're not gonna be able to enjoy that road trip if you are just scraping the earth for money. You're just gonna be miserable. And yeah, you're gonna have that memory instead of being, oh, that was a great time, it's gonna be, wow, that was miserable. What was I thinking? Before you go on a long drive, make sure that all your little things about your vehicle are up to date. Tire pressure, your oil's good, check your oil, all that kind of little stuff. Be prepared for anything, because you never know. All cars and whatnot are different, but just be prepared. Last but not least is have fun, man. Have fun. You only live once, and yeah, YOLO, hashtag, but no, honestly, you only live once, and if you're gonna go on a road trip, have as much fun as you can. Be responsible, but make sure to have a good time. Don't let the little things like the long drive and that kind of thing get to you, because what's the fun in that? Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this little video. Those are my biggest tips for going on a road trip that I use every single time. I hope to see you guys next time, and take it easy. Have a great day.